Hey, Tim Unkert here. In a previous video, I talked about installing Fedora on Windows, but here's a cool thing. You can run a bunch of different distros on the Windows Subsystem for Linux. So let me just show you. So I bring up my console here, and I'm having it load up into Fedora. And this is a third-party version of Fedora. Check out my previous video if you want to learn about that. But let's say I want to install Ubuntu and Debian. Well, I can do that too. Okay, so what I need to do is just go to the Microsoft Store, open that, and let's search for Ubuntu. Search for that, and I see I've got Ubuntu here. There's a bunch of different versions. This one's rated a little bit higher. Let me get that one. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. That's checking the dependencies and working out and downloading everything. I'll come on back once that's done. Okay, so I'm going to click open here, and it's going to go ahead and install. Okay, so put in a username, password. I'll confirm the password and go ahead and install. Let me clear these out, and let's do a sudo apt update and a sudo apt upgrade. Hit enter, enter in the password. And it's going to run through and update everything. It's going to ask me to take up some additional space. I'll say sure. Okay, and there we go. So I've got Ubuntu. So now, if I boot up, let me close this out and then boot up here my terminal. And if I want to, I have this booting up into a Fedora. Well, let's say I want to open up into Ubuntu. I can go here and just go on down to Ubuntu, and I can open up another window in Ubuntu. Pretty sweet. Let's say I want to install some more stuff. Let me close this out. And let's search for Debian. Okay, we got Debian here. So let's go here and get that. Okay, we'll open that. And that's going to go back to the terminal and install. I'll enter a username for that and a password. Confirm the password. Yep. Let's try again. Okay, so our password's updated. We can do a sudo apt update and a sudo apt upgrade. And we'll enter in the password. And run through. It's going to take some extra space. I'll say yes. And we go through. Now we have Debian. Okay. Again, if I boot this up, I have it set to boot up into Fedora. We'll change that in a moment. But now I've got Debian too, so I can go right into Debian. I can change the look and feel of these and the theme and all that very easily. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay, let's close all this. And let's do Alma while we're here. We'll search for AlmaLinux. Do 9. Get that. Okay, we'll open that. And we're going to create a username and a password. Okay, and we'll do a sudo DNF upgrade. And we'll enter in our password. Okay, and there we go. It's going to ask to take some additional space. Okay, we've done all that. Let's close this out. And so now we've got, let's start this up. We've got, let's see, we've got Fedora, okay, Ubuntu, Debian, and Alma. Now let's say I want to start up with Debian, okay? So what I can do is go to settings or control comma, and on startup I can just select Debian, okay? And then I can go down here and I can make the appearance of Debian look like however I want. If I go down to appearance, has a theme campo, but let's say I want Ubuntu 2404, and let's say I want Cascadia Code font, and let's do an empty box and click save. And say again, startup, we're doing Debian. So if I close this out, start it back up, it starts back up in Debian, and I can begin my work in there. So if I have a project that I'm working on in Fedora, and I want to keep starting up that one, I'll just change the settings. If I go back to a project in Debian, or I want to work in Debian for a bit, or play with Ubuntu or whatever, I can change it back that way, or change it back easily, and get started with that. So it's kind of cool. We can run a bunch of different distros on the Windows Subsystem for Linux. If you're interested, give it a try. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.